Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I'm so glad you're here. Boy, am I really glad you're here because I have such a busy day today and I need you guys to just come along with me and help me get through it. I am actually going to be keeping my grandbaby today and he'll be here in just a little bit. I'm super excited. He's so sweet and so cute. For those of you who have not met Benji, it is my newest grandson and he is 3 months old. The other two are in school and daycare, but I keep Benji. So I'm excited to see him. And also, we're also cooking today for our youth pastor and his wife and his family. They're coming over tonight to talk and plan ministry and we're super excited for that. So that's what I'm going to get started with. I've got to finish up the video you saw yesterday, or whatever, my last video that you saw. I've got to finish it up and get it edited and out to you guys. I've got to clean and we got to start packing. So a busy day. Now I haven't got ready for the day yet as far as hair because I don't like to mess with my hair. I knew I was getting ready to get this food on and I didn't want to do anything with my hair until after that. So let me tell you what we're making. We're making my famous chicken dish, chicken and gravy sorta. It is so easy. All you need is some condensed canned soups, some chicken, either a crock pot or you can do it in the oven. I started out doing this in the oven, but when I start making bigger amounts, it's just easier to do it in the crock pot, and so that's what we're gonna do. But I think it's 7 chicken breasts here. Let me get you turned down. We are going to, I like to just cut these in half. Now, if we were having more company, I would definitely, the lid's behind the camera and I don't want to push it off on the floor. I would definitely cut it maybe in more pieces, but just cutting it in half is fine. And when I say half, I don't mean long ways. If I was doing it in the oven, we might cut it long ways and make them thinner. But since we're doing it in the crock pot, we're just going to cut them in half like this. It just makes the pieces go further and so forth. So I trimmed this a little. Now I do leave some fat on it because that's just flavor right there. But I do look them and trim them and be sure I get off any bones. I did find a bone in these today, so I got the bone out. And so I'm basically just cutting these in half. See, I'm leaving that fat on. It will cook right off this piece of chicken in the crock pot, but it'll just add such delicious flavor to this meal. It'll melt right away, right off. So, okay, I'm going to kind of just spread these out because I do want to hit them with salt and pepper. You don't have to. You can just add the salt and pepper to the gravy mix, but I'm just going to salt and pepper these. So, let me wash my hands. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this salt and just sprinkle across the tops of the chicken, just a little bit. We can always add more salt to the gravy if it needs it, but this just kind of gives it an initial start. All right, and I'm going to add a little pepper. I love pepper with chicken. Pepper, 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 pepper. When I make my chicken and rice, I don't actually add the pepper to it while I'm cooking it, but then when I get it on my plate, boy, I just cover it with pepper. All right, so we're going to set this aside briefly. And we're going to talk about our gravy mix that I'm just going to mix right in my crock pot insert. Now, I like to use cream of mushroom, but I know not everybody likes cream of mushroom, and that's totally fine. You could use cream of chicken, cream of celery. I might, between those two, I would lean more towards the cream of chicken, and by all means, you can make your own cream of soups if you don't like to make them, use can. But it doesn't bother me to use can at all. So, let me grab my other cream of mushroom. All right, so I'm going to start with 2 of each cans. I do have a third one out just in case I don't think this is enough gravy. All right, so let's start with 2 cream of mushrooms. And there is my second cream of mushroom. Like I said, I've got a third of each soup out just in case I need it. All right. Now, sometimes when I do this in the oven, I will add a little bit of water. I don't think I necessarily need to do that here in the crock pot. But if I did, what I would do is put a little bit of water in the cans of soup just to be sure I'm getting out all the goodness. Now, this is cream of onion. This you cannot switch out for anything else. You definitely need this. And I would say if you can't find it, because it has been hard for me to find occasionally in the past. But if you cannot find it, I would use your cream of chicken, and you know, like I would do 4 creams of chicken. Now, if I'm only doing 3 breasts, I only use 1 of each can, or 4 breasts, I only use 1 of each can. But since I'm doing more, I'm adding 2, possibly a third. We'll see. But if you could not find the cream of onion, I beg of you, please do not skip out on this just because you think it might not be good. But if you can't find it, I would use the equal parts of your cream of chicken or cream of mushroom, whatever you choose to use in its place, and then just load this down with tons and tons and tons of onion. Maybe add in some onion powder, but I still don't think that would be near as good as adding this soup. So y'all, this is all there is to my chicken and gravy dish. Super easy. This is a great thing to make for crowds, especially if you have one of those big 18-quart roasters. That is awesome to fix. So I have many times fixed this for a crowd. In fact, the next time I do Wednesday night meal, this is maybe what we do. So I'm just going to throw all my chicken breast right in here. We're going to get it turned on and going. Doesn't matter if they layer up a little bit. We're going to stir it around a little bit. Just get them in there. And once it gets hot, I'm going to come and give it a kind of a stir as it softens up and loosens up. And we're going to see if I need to add 1 more of each can of soup. But I think we're going to be fine. I'm just going to kind of stir it around now just to get some of that flavor all in there. So I think we're going to be golden. I don't think we're going to have to worry about adding any more soup. Mr. Benji's over there having filled it, and we're getting this on super early. And I can cut it off if it gets done. We can cut it off and then, or just keep it on warm. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have to add any more. soups. So I'm going to get this on a crock pot on low, and I hear you, buddy. I hear you over there. So we're going to get it on low in the crock pot with the lid on, and I'll see you back when we start the next part of this video. Well, everybody, I neglected to show you how I do the green beans. I've just got them now turned on, but let me tell you what I did. This is nothing more than store-bought canned green beans. Don't have any home green beans right now. And what I've put in here is just the green beans and the juices that were in the can. Just a ever small pinch of salt. A little bit of olive oil, just probably a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons. Some bacon bits, and a pinch of, well, probably a teaspoon of brown sugar. And I've just turned it on. I'm going to cook it all the way down. Sometimes I add a little bit of garlic powder. I don't think I'm going to do that today. Maybe some onion powder and a little bit. But that's really all I do to doctor up green beans. So, yep, that's about it. And I'll just cook it all the way down, or pretty much all the way down. And I do like to mash them a little bit. I learned that trick from Tammy on Collar Valley Cooks. It just kind of makes them look a little bit more homegrown. You get the little shellies out, and but you don't want to mash the whole pot. You just want to kind of take your spoon and break them up just a little bit, just much like they would if they were home cooked and home canned and so forth. So anyway, there you go. This is southern green beans now. You know I'm not from the north, and we cook our green beans to death, and that's just the way it is. And so these I know are not like my friends like them in the north, although I do love those kind of green beans too. This is my preference, however. So we're going to let these cook a little bit, and I'm going to get to peeling the potatoes for mashed potatoes. We're going to have mashed potatoes, green beans, the chicken and gravy, and we're going to try out those Texas rolls. And we're going to, I'm going to make my own honey butter, cinnamon butter, and we're hoping that those rolls turn out really good. I know everybody is eager to find out how they were. So, all right. I'm going to get to peeling potatoes, and I'll see you back in a little bit. Okay, everybody, I am over here slicing up the potatoes and I'm just going to cover them with cool water. That's about how I slice them. A lot of people dice them for mashed potatoes. However you cut them is fine. This is just what I do. And I'm going to do a whole 5-pound bag. And we can send leftovers home. We can eat leftovers. All right. So I'm just going to slice these up, cover them with some cold water, and they'll be already ready when it's time to turn them on and finish up supper. I always like to get ahead if I can, and that way I don't have to worry about, you know, things going wrong at the end. I'm ready and prepared. So this is just part of them. I still have a few more in the bag to peel, but I like to give my hand a rest. I peel for a while, slice for a while, then I go back and peel for a while and slice for a while. All right, so I'm just going to keep doing this. Whoops, potato overboard. All right, I'm going to keep doing this. The green beans are boiling. They smell absolutely delicious. So I will bring you back and show you with whatever I do next, which will probably be making my sweet honey cinnamon butter for our rolls. All right, so if the Texas Roadhouse rolls that I bought the other day, and you'll see them in just a little bit, if they turn out then we're gonna need some honey butter. So let me wash my hands. We're gonna make up some honey cinnamon butter to go with those rolls. It's gonna be good, so hang tight. We're gonna do that in just a second. All right, so in my bowl here, I have 1 stick of butter, which is half a cup. So to that bowl, I'm going in with 2 good sized scoops of powdered sugar. These are tablespoons, so a little more than a tablespoon of 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. And now to that, we're going in with, I'm going to eyeball 1/4 of a cup of honey. Give one more squirt. All right. And we're going to take our hand mixer here. Now we still have cinnamon to go, but let's get this kind of going and stirred up. And once the powdered sugar slowly gets added, you can turn the speed up. I'm going the wrong direction. You can turn the speed up on your So now to that, I've got my cinnamon. I don't really measure this. I just go shake, 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 shake your cinnamon, shake your cinnamon. And I want to give it just a little bit of a tasty, just to see if I need to add. No. Maybe one more sprinkle of cinnamon. Let's go one shake more. Well, 2 shakes more. Just shake the cinnamon. I'm going to slowly bring my whisk up out of the butter, but without pulling it all the way, because then it'll spread. But I want to get it out of there to knock off. Now look, that knocked off a lot of that cinnamon butter. And then, all right, so I've got to wash those because I'm going to use those same things to mash my potatoes with. So I got to wash them. I'm going to grab a smaller bowl to put this in. So the key here is I don't want to refrigerate this at this point until after, you know, our supper is over. Because you want it to be spreadable. So I am just going to put this in this little bowl here. And we're going to leave it sitting. I'm going to go ahead and probably set it on the table. And we will have our sweetened cinnamon honey butter ready for our rolls. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use that glaze that came with the rolls or not. We'll just have to wait and see. But there we go. There is our wonderful, and let me tell you why you want to use powdered sugar. I have been to restaurants that use granulated sugar, and it left a grit that I was not fond of at all. And it tasted great, but the texture was off-putting. So if you use powdered sugar, it gets rid of that grip, and it's so much more pleasurable as a mouthfeel. And so So I have always suggested using powdered sugar when you make honey butter. So, and you can use just the honey, but the powdered sugar or even the granulated sugar just elevates it a little bit and gives it a little bit more sweetness without that. I don't know how to describe it, but this has been the best honey butter recipe I have ever found, and so you need to make it, and especially if you're going to make yeast rolls or buy yeast rolls or have yeast rolls, this is so good. Okay, everybody, I just got the rolls out of the freezer and I've taken them out of the packages. Here's what they look like. They look like they're already like pre-baked almost a little bit. Here is the glaze packing that you put on at the end. So everything was to stay frozen. It does say that it takes, I think, 27 to 30 minutes. And I need to get some tin foil to lay over them just so they stay, you know, they don't get too terribly brown. So I'm going to grab some tin foil. We'll get these in the oven. It is about 6:20. We're going to eat about 7. This takes about 30 minutes. So I'm going to get these in the oven in the next little bit. I'm also going to lay these over there on top of the oven, you know, just kind of over here, just so they soften up a little bit and you're supposed to knead those, like knead them in your hands and then put them on. So, all right, let me get some tin foil and we get those in the oven. I'm anxious to tell you what we think about these. So hopefully we'll know soon if these are a thumbs up or a thumbs down. We don't know. Hang tight and we'll let you know. Also, here is the chicken, looking delicious. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. This is one of my favorite things ever. And you put this gravy in on those mashed potatoes. Oh, so good. Well, guys, we have something weird happening. Bryant has worked super duper hard today. They have had a long day. It is almost dark. They went to work when it was almost dark, so it has been a long day. He was pulling in because our youth pastor's coming for service tonight. I saw a light over in very far way over there. I saw a light and I said, "Are you in the field?" He says, "No." I said, "Then there's a fire or something over there in the field." So he was pulling in, so he's actually pulled over there to go check and see I mean, there's nothing to catch on fire unless somebody has set a fire. So, not sat a fire, set a fire. But, so he's gone over there to check and see what's happening. I don't know if you can hear the cows are mooing and they know something's going on. Okay, so there was a false alarm with what we thought was a fire in the field. Now that field goes all the way across to the next road over, and there's some houses that butt up next to it. So the fire was actually in the neighbor's place. He was burning something, but he was burning it pretty close to the fence. So it looked like it was in our pasture, but it wasn't. So false alarm. Well, I know the first thing you want to know is how are the rolls?
Tell us, Mom.
They are delicious. They are a winner, especially with my butter. But yes, they are worth whatever it was I paid for them. So go get you some at Walmart.
And you did put the icing on top?
I did put, I bought 2 packs, so each pack had a glaze, but I only put one thing of glaze on the 2 packs.
How would they have been with just butter on top?
Probably delicious, but I think the glaze was pretty good.
So tell us about your meal. What you got?
Delicious chicken and gravy, mashed potatoes, and my green beans are already almost gone, so very good. But
right.
Ask the guests.
All right. Pastor Ben and Dana are hanging out with us tonight. What do you think, Pastor Ben?
Absolutely wonderful.
Dana, what do you think?
She pulled the Levi.
We got her with a mouthful.
So it's very good. So we'll see you in a little bit. So guys, our those rolls were absolutely amazing. So if your Walmart has them, try them. It's wonderful. Now, they were, I think, a little pricey, but if you have some company coming and you don't have time to make your own rolls or whatever, they were absolutely delicious. But with that being said, you got to have my honey butter with it. You got to make that too. They just go together. So, all right. Well, that dinner was amazing. The chicken was delicious. Those were probably the best green beans I made in forever. I don't know why I just added the bacon bits, but oh my goodness, did it do something special to it. And I just like took a pinch with my fingers and added it in. Delicious. Like I said, with my green beans, I leave the juices. I add just a teensy pinch of salt. I added the bacon bits. I have just a drop or two of olive oil and about a teaspoon of brown sugar, and I cooked it down. So good. Absolutely delicious. And in fact, Bryant says, Leslie, what'd you do different to the green beans? They are so good. And I told him how I did it. And I mean, there's not a whole lot different other than adding just that little pinch of bacon bits. They were so good. So good. And the mashed potatoes, of course, are always delicious. If you make mashed potatoes, try to find you some yellow potatoes like the Yukon Gold, or just some of them just say yellow potatoes. They make a much better mashed potatoes than your russets and so forth. So anyway, so good. So good. So good. Everything makes me think of a song. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for joining us. We're getting ready to head out on a cruise, and I will see you on the next video. It's going to be a packing video. I think it's going to be fun to see what I pack. I'm going to just do a packing video. And then when we get back from our cruise, we can talk about what I did wear, what I didn't wear, what I wish I hadn't packed, what I wish I had have packed, and so on. So, all right, I'll see you on the next one. Remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all.